Wes, good to see you. We're doing a little myth busting today. Your 401k is not a retirement plan. Everyone's favorite retirement account, the 401k, is a great way to save, but it is just a tool, not a strategy. What are some of the biggest risks of relying on just a tax deferred 401k for retirement?
Well, the first and foremost biggest risk is when they're referred to as a retirement plan. I always chuckle, right? Because, like you
Yeah.
mentioned, they're nothing more than a tool to save for your retirement. When it comes to a retirement plan, it's all about creating cash flow from all of the vehicles that you've saved into, like a 401k, certainly is one of them for many, many people. But they do have their downsides if that's the only thing that you're relying on in retirement. And that could be because you have limited choices within your 401k. So as you age, when you get into retirement, your outlook changes as far as what your needs are from that bucket. And again, creating cash flow, it may not have all of the options that maybe you would like to have. And that's where looking outside of a 401k, whether that's rolling it over to an IRA, and then having different kinds of accounts be even beyond that. So you have tax diversification. So most 401ks nowadays do perhaps feature a Roth option, but most people still have the bulk of their retirement savings in pre-tax accounts. So we do have a risk of tax rate risk.
Yeah, because it's not all yours. You have to share it with Uncle Sam, unfortunately. And that's why 401ks are often known as tax time bombs. Beyond being tax deferred, as you just mentioned, there are also the required minimum distributions, which can push you into a higher tax bracket in retirement.
That's right. So once you get to your required minimum distribution age, whether you need the cash flow or not, you're going to have to take money out and you're going to be taxed on that money at ordinary income rates. And we can see here the 2025 federal tax brackets. We are in a known tax rate environment right now. One could argue that tax rates are relatively low compared to where they could be in the future. And also, we look historically, marginal tax brackets, have been as high as 94% back in 1945. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to 94% here in the near term, but the point being is that there has certainly been historical times when tax rates have been much higher than they are today. So the question becomes, and it's different for everybody, but a tax analysis and a true plan can provide you with the clarity to know, but should you be transitioning at least a portion of your pre-tax retirement money into a tax exempt account so that in the future, if tax rates are higher, at least you have tax diversity moving forward, where you've got Roth money, some in tax deferred or pre-tax, and then some in that taxable bucket. So again, it's not just about diversification amongst your investments, but diversification amongst your tax allocation.
Mhm. I'm glad you brought up historical tax rates because there's a lot of people who wonder why they would want to pay their taxes now. The question comes down to whether you think they'll be higher in the future, right?
That's right, and obviously our national debt are at levels that we haven't seen before. So we are in the mid 36 trillion dollars, and hopefully
Yeah.
that'll be getting better, but it doesn't really look like it will be in the near term. So again, future tax rates, that's a big risk for many people. And we also think about estate planning too, right? Do you want to be
Mm.
passing on to your heirs money that they will have to pull out, and that'll be taxable to them? So a lot of planning opportunities. The key is to be aware, and again, it's different for each and every person.
Yeah, the key is to start sooner rather than later. It all comes back to turning your savings into an income stream, as you mentioned before. So, what should we consider in addition to our 401k?
Well, outside of a 401k, if you're looking for consistent cash flow, which many people are, because let's face it, pensions have, kind of gone the way of the dinosaur, as we say, and so that's where there are some tools that could fit in well, like an annuity that can provide some guaranteed lifetime income, and that's not the answer for everybody, but again, for maybe a portion of our core annual expenses that we know that we want to have covered on a consistent basis, an annuity can be attractive for that reason. Your whole retirement should not be in an annuity, but it could be a complement too. So that's one. But there are many other vehicles out there in addition to insured products that can provide you a pretty good yield, if you will, off of your portfolio.
Yeah. Wes, I'm really grateful we got the chance to talk through this because I think a lot of people have so much money in those tax deferred accounts. So if they want to start planning now, because there are strategies to reduce their tax liability in retirement, what's the best way to reach you to talk that through?
touch base with a message, info@patriotwealthnc.com, or pick up the phone, 919-322-4113.
Great. Wes, thank you.
Thank you.